What? Oh.
Sanguine, you would shoot your father.
No, I wouldn't.
Yes,
Okay, everybody. Welcome to the Gpod 14. I am your host.
Okay.
Oh, this is starting off great.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. We're
Okay,
all
everybody
just...
shut up.
Okay,
Everybody
fine.
shut up. Shut up.
Right.
Welcome to the Gpod. This one is number 14. I am your host, Impy Worm.
I'm Monsieur
Go.
Herr.
I am
What?
Sanguine.
I'm someone who's appeared before in a number 8, and that's it.
And
And
we've
I'm
got
Butane
a new
Boss.
person here. Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I'm
you're fine.
Butane
You're
Boss.
fine. That was
Never
my
been-
fault.
Never
Okay,
been on
so,
this before.
This
so
podcast is very well organized.
yes, it's perfectly well organized. Now,
All right, let's get on track now.
yes. So, how have all of you been? What have you guys been up to? Whoever wants to go first.
Cool. I'm fine. I'm doing great. Still working on Fever Dream 4. Don't know when that's going to get finished, but I do want to plug my shitty music. I made an album of music. It's called Strange Sounds That Somewhat Resemble Music, and it's strange sounds that somewhat resemble music. I'm not very good at music, but you can judge for yourself whether you like it.
So
You
it's
can
like a
find
hug.
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube, or if you want to give me money, you can buy it on Bandcamp. It's $7. Please give me all of your money, so I can make more bad music. Because that's what everyone wants to hear right now.
Please
That's pretty
do.
good.
Because if you give him money, Phil Collins can have money.
Yeah. It's all for the charity of Phil Collins. Isn't that right, Butane?
Sus.
Sus.
Good cop. So, how about the...
I was a bit flat there, but
Nah,
we got the point.
fine. How about the rest of you? What have you all been up to?
As of late, I've been working on my subscriber special. It's just gonna be like a regular, like, kind of whatever sub special because I can't pin down a number. It went from 200 to 225, 250, and now it's 276. I don't know. So that's where I'm at with like my projects right now.
See, just
But-
call it the however many subscriber special.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's perfect.
I'm not sure how many subscribers I'll have by the time this video's finished.
But I know
But
it's gonna
by
be
golly,
a certain amount.
It
about
will
you,
be
Sunk?
a significant amount.
Yeah, there you go.
How about you, Sunky? What have you been sunking?
Well, I haven't been up to much. I mean, I've been kind of taking it easy after last year was kind of a crazy hayride to say the least. But I've still been doing stuff, and one of them's going to be brought up later in the stream, so I'm not going to talk about it much for now. Other than that, I've been doing okay. I have some ideas I want to do, and I still got 2 videos I was going to do for Collab, but now they're just going to be standalone videos.
If you can't use it for one thing, use it for another.
Yeah,
Also, it's making animation go to waste.
Yeah, there you go.
I really like the ideas behind them, so after just some rework, and I can easily get them back on the road.
Now, we need to talk to the boss that is also not the boss of this podcast, Butane Boss. What have you been up to?
You could say he is the boss of Butane.
Mostly. I've made
Yes,
1
he
minute
is.
of... Yeah, I've made 1 minute of a video. I made the first 25 minutes of another video. And I plan to do a 10th anniversary of my channel video, but, job hunting in the way as well, so not sure if I might, meet deadlines.
I'm
But I
gonna...
hope I'll be okay.
All right, I'm gonna rewind a little bit. Did you just say the first 25 minutes of a video?
No,
Okay, I misheard
Sorry.
you.
He meant 25 seconds. The
chat
was
will
just-
probably say,
I was just gonna say, man, you've been busy.
yeah.
Like, damn, dude, that's
Wow.
Impressive. That
Let's
might
see
or
if
might not be
Says it,
impressive.
and then I'll be crucified.
either that's incredibly impressive or incredibly unhealthy.
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about myself because I'm in charge and you all
Yeah.
have to listen to me. I haven't.
You're right, we don't have to.
I haven't been up to too much. I've just been trying to keep up this regular schedule of not making videos that are necessarily long, but I am making videos more frequently, like every month or 2 months or so. So that's mostly just
better,
to get me.
that's
to
better than
practice.
keeping up the schedule of not making videos at all, like I've been doing.
Exactly. I've also been trying to get something off the ground, which I actually mentioned in the last podcast I was in, but then life got in the way, so that also had to be delayed again. So I'm just going to stop talking about that until that's ready to go.
That
Yeah,
pesky
wouldn't like to
life
get
keeps getting in the way of our Gmodding.
Honestly.
The nerve.
But yeah, hoping to get a big thing off the ground eventually. But right now I need to worry about my 10th subscriber or 10,000 subscriber anniversary.
Subscribers? All right.
No,
I'm
even though you're up
close.
at 10,000, you got to think about
not-
that 10th one though.
Not quite 10.
My 10th subscriber. Yay.
Yeah, you got to go back down the list and find the 10th one that ever subscribed to you and make an entire special just about him.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of videos we've been working on, let's take a look at some of these big videos that we've been doing lately.
Oh, wow.
Alrighty then.
First up on the agenda, which I'm hoping everybody took a look at, is my own video, Super Smash Brothers Ultimatum, by yours
Yeah.
truly. So
It's a good
you
one.
all should see it. Well, what'd you guys think of it? Because I would like to say that the person who made this is very well qualified and is a genius, but that'd be
I
redundant.
would have a go at you for shameless self-plugging, but I really do agree with you. It's
To
nicely
be honest,
animated.
yeah, I felt that the
It is a
video
very good
was
Yeah.
it was very well animated for one thing, and not to mention you animating Midna is just adorable in almost every video that I see.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's very cute.
How did you get
Very
the
funny.
paper summoning effect up?
I had the paper there, and then I colored it black, and then I took one of those default little square blocks, like the building blocks in Gary's mod, shrunk it down to like paper thin, and got it into like flat rectangle dimensions. Colored it black, and then I duplicated it a bunch of times, and then animated all those duplicated blocks. Took a while, but
That's
very,
actually really nice.
That's
And then-
pretty crazy.
very intricate.
and then I used a
my
little
pers-
pan effect to like make the paper go black and then disappear as the little blocks are coming up. So that's how I did that.
Personally, my only problem with the video is that Sal's in it.
Uh,
I hate that guy.
he's
least
the
it's not-
he's the
At least it's
anime
not
man.
another cameo.
A cameo.
See, maybe if Cammy was in it, I wouldn't hate it as much.
We should call it
No.
cameo so we know the difference between camouflage and cameo. Anyway, we're getting off topic.
Oh no, the point is the video is very good.
Mm.
I'm glad you think so, and I'm actually
Aw.
glad a lot of other people think so, because most people usually I get at least one comment asking where Least Trip 711-2 is, and for once I didn't get one, so that was cool.
If there's one thing I'm definitely impressed myself about, it's the fact that how well you're animating Midna while still keeping that whole like floating animation of going up and down kind of slowly, just kind of keeping in place and floating and everything. I never seem to get that down myself, and I just always appreciate the work that goes into that.
I like the
It really
suppleness
just
of the
takes a
eye
lot of
movements.
practice.
I imagine it wouldn't be that hard. I
kinda
may or may
like-
not have done it before.
Mm.
It's kind of like animating idle breathing. It just, you kind of animate her moving up and down as she's breathing in and out, sort of thing.
Right, gotcha.
It
okay.
just takes a little practice and a little getting used to, because you have to move her slightly higher up and down than somebody who's just standing in place would. But yeah,
Right, of course.
Yeah.
I
It's all
also
fun.
I'm also wanted to make this as a video to kind of like obviously tribute Smash Bros. Because I really do like it, and I felt like it needed the effort. Plus, it's been kind of a running gag that Midna's angry that she didn't get in Smash, so I kind of wanted to make this video to say, no hard feelings.
Right, yeah.
And also that clip you saw of Sakurai's hand twitching there was to indicate that he's a huge workaholic, because I don't want to make it seem like I am sucking Nintendo's pee-pee or anything like that. Because even though he does work very hard, he's also not enslaved. Most of the damage he does to himself is self-inflicted. So I just wanted to include that to kind of remind everybody that he can just say no, but he chooses not to and I appreciate that.
Because he's one
Yeah.
hard-working man. That's true.
Yeah.
That's just the Japanese thing. Also, I'm impressed how you got Sakurai's face on the ragdoll. Not sure
Yeah,
how you did
that was pretty
Very
good.
cool.
Funny enough,
Yeah.
that's actually Hideo Kojima. That's who the ragdoll is of. But
That makes sense.
But it was seamless though.
but he's
Yeah.
an Asian man in a suit, so he worked. So I just put Sakurai's face over it to go, this is actually Sakurai. And I dyed the ragdoll's hair just a slight tint of red to get that effect. So
Right.
anyways,
Okay.
How
Makes
did you do
sense.
it, by the way? I'm curious.
how did I do what?
The Sakurai face overlay.
I got the I just downloaded the clip from the Nintendo Direct where Sakurai's sitting very still and blinking, saying, "I wonder if I'll ever get to take a break," and I just cropped it. I cropped the video and put it over, and then I changed the contrast and lighting and stuff to kind of make his face a little more in tune with the room. Which this is the last thing I'm going to say because I've gone on too long about this video already, and we need to get.
I don't
the
even
others,
have
but
anything to say for the videos.
Then get out.
Get out.
Are you gonna be the
You're not welcome here.
Sunky? Don't tell me you're gonna pull a me and not have seen any of the videos.
Oh, I did see the videos. I just don't have much to say for the Impies video because I'm not exactly. I don't know. There's nothing I can really say for it. I mean, it's alright. It's a pretty decent
It's
video.
alright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
Good
It's
video.
okay.
Hey,
Bit of
fair
an
enough.
understatement.
I know, mainly because of me not being the biggest fan of Smash Ultimate is why I don't really have much to say for this.
But you're still pretty good
I
at it.
played Smash
Yeah, that's
and
fair
I
enough.
fucking love the video.
See, I've played Smash a couple times.
It's
So have I.
it's a fun game, and you can get into it if you really want to. But that is not here nor now, or however the saying goes. Last thing I was going to say was
Here.
that the one thing I wish I would have been able to do was the lighting in Sakurai's actual room. I was planning to have that well lit like the rest of everything, but for some reason, when I set up the lights, Sakurai's hair shone an unworldly shade of white, like bright. So I had to do away with the lighting. I even tried the, set lighting origin stuff.
The powers
So
from
anyway.
above are telling us to move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Is this anything-
I just wanted to make that point real quick. So,
Nope.
moving on to
It
the
is
next
a-
one, which is a video by Sanguine, his entry for the TV Collab 2, My Gmod Addiction.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If we want to get that up.
See, I'm impressed because this one, it's one of the few videos in the collab that are actually based on TV, because most of the other entries, they look like no one has ever watched TV before.
Yeah,
Which is
kinda-
fair because
Yeah.
most people have watched YouTube nowadays and nothing else for good
Yeah.
reason. There's nothing good on
It's
TV.
true.
Oh yeah,
But,
did you see that one entry where it was just shaking constantly because, oh, I want to make it like an old TV show, and old TV shows shake a lot. If you can't do it right, don't bother.
Old TV shows? I thought it was the new TV shows that couldn't stop the shaky cam.
Aha!
Anyways, back to the subject at hand. Let's
What a
talk
waste
about
of
this
film.
video,
Well,
as opposed to the collab as a whole.
I pretty much just kind of came up with this on a whim after having my friend Tick help me with a few ideas and everything. And at the time, I was watching like a Djibouti dubs thing of My Strange Addiction. So that's when I'm like, okay, I know I can make some sort of a joke out of this somewhere. And I decided to just take up My Strange Addiction as one of the things that I could parody and just see what I can do with it. And because it's a Gmod thing, I wanted to make it of just like a fizz gun sort of thing and try to rope camouflage into it just because
Oh, yeah.
that's the funny
It's
joke.
all very meta.
Camouflage
sort
is
of way, yeah.
Gmod.
Yeah.
I appreciate this sort of thing.
I really enjoy how seamless this looks. Like, as far as like syncing the camera up, so it
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like TV show camera, along with the good animation. It all looks.
Yeah, so
If
I
there's-
imagine that
If there's
that
one thing
doesn't
I
seem
definitely
very hard
wanted to
do.
focus on, I wanted to make it look like an authentic TV show, at least as best as I could.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
of course, TV
Better than
collab,
the rest of
so
the
that's what I
entries.
wanted to make it for.
Oh, well, I think you got that down really well.
Yeah.
And the really good animation, especially the lip syncing, really helps with that.
Yeah, I was actually a little bit kind of meh on the lip syncing in my opinion because
I mean,
playing
it
it
does
back
its job.
like that. It does its job, but I feel like I could have done a little bit better if I did like stop motion. But then again, the shaky camera wouldn't look right with stop motion on its own.
Well, those
How do you
Half-Life
manage to
2
get
rag
the-
dolls are a pain in the butt to face pose.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So somebody was going to say something. Sorry.
I don't
Didn't
know
mean
how
to interrupt.
Seedmaz
Yeah.
manages it.
How do you manage to get the fizz gun beams?
So essentially what happened with that is I at first tried taking like maybe like an emitter or something like that to try and see how well that would do and like maybe a rope system or something. But that would take a little bit too much time and would just be a real hassle. So I found this one mod that's like a medigun entity and I can actually pose where the beam goes and I
Oh,
can
yeah, I
weld
have-
the medigun.
I know that one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can like weld the
Posable
medigun
medigun
to...
beams. Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
that's
just
it,
got-
that's it.
Yeah, with the
You just
wee
got
cube.
a different effect for it then.
Pretty much, yeah. They had all the different mediguns from
Oh, yeah.
TF2, so I was
Okay,
able
yeah.
to use different beams.
That makes sense. Very
And then you
cool.
use the halo tool,
Shortcuts.
whatever you're.
Mhm.
That's what we Gmodders are best at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's why we animate in Gmod, because we love shortcuts.
Cutting corners with taste.
I'm pretty sure they cut corners with anything you use for videos. Even the recording software, you might cut corners with it.
I think easily my favorite part of like animating that entire video was probably when the kid got hit with the dodgeball.
Oh, yeah.
Bit of
I
dark
could-
humor there.
Kids
in
getting-
the middle of like me making
Nice
the video and putting it together, I had to render that out and show it to Erdemon almost immediately just because I was laughing my ass off.
Spencer.
Children in pain will never not be funny.
Too bad you too. Yep. And unfortunately, they'll probably see some angry parents in the comments at one point. It suddenly got viral.
That's gonna be some biblical shit
Oh,
happening to you if you do that again.
Oh,
There you
adults
go.
don't
Gonna
know.
be that gonna be
So
Unconscionable Gmodder likes killing children.
were there any last thoughts anybody had about this particular video?
Well, I will say, I
we move
really
on?
do. Can
Cammy
I-
says, I like the
can I
part where the
say my
protagonist
thoughts?
gets what he deserves.
Of course he
Uh,
does.
You were saying something?
Anyway, I haven't said mine yet, but I do like how meta the whole video is, and yet it tries to make it as believable as possible. Like this is actually like the world is like, yet like it's Gmod, but it's like it's part of a believable one, such as oh wow, it's video game logic.
Mhm.
It's just video game,
that.
bro. Well, it was
But it's
noticeable
meta, so
enough
it's
to be
okay.
brought up twice. So,
Yeah.
moving
really good
swiftly
video.
on, we're going to take a look at the next video by our new guest, Butane Boss.
Sorry,
is called-
what?
A nostalgic Gmod video.
Wow, I love the time travel video. Yeah, you ripped me off, Butane. I
I
demand
didn't
royalty.
actually see that video before then. I didn't realize that you did some kind of nostalgic
mine-
feel to it.
Yeah, mine's worse, but
Oh, thanks.
no, you did it. It's basically the same concept, but yours is done better.
I liked the effort you went through to make the Gmod video look older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Like
yeah,
the
the
bat.
stuff you. Yeah, the
Yeah,
stuff you
all
went
I
through.
did-
I didn't do
God,
black
all I did
bars.
was
I just
lower
went
the
into
resolution.
Yeah.
Like
All I did
like
was lower the resolution and squish the thing down.
like
I
the
wanted
Batman.
to.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I wanted to just lower the resolution, but I'm lazy. Or rather, me from like 2 years ago was lazy. So that's embarrassing. Don't watch the time travel video.
I thought it was
Too bad,
good.
I've already watched it.
Everybody go
Yeah.
watch
Hello, my
Hair's
name is
time
David
travel
Bowie.
video.
In
David Bowie
particular,
impression.
I loved the amount of effort that you put into just how the video is just put together in general with the editing and the actual scenes put together and everything. I especially adored the whole Half-Life Full Life Consequences reference that you put in at that one point because I absolutely adored that kind of shit.
Thanks very much.
Yeah.
I really just like the
My
lengths
voice.
you went through to recreate the old experience.
Yeah. And
Look-
on the stream right now, it's the rubber fruit bit.
Yep.
When I was
Oh, yeah.
researching for this video, I was looking at rubber fruit videos in quick succession, and I saw a trend of characters eating other characters, so I just threw in a vor joke. Like, what if rubber
That-
fruit was into vor?
That and of course people like sliding around everywhere like a bunch of snakes.
Yeah.
I also love you using the ugly Gmod bloom.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's what I
That's-
didn't notice.
Was
I don't like
unintentional.
a rhetorical question here.
It all works.
It all.
Yeah, I had to go in manually in frames that were affected and just manually do brightness and contrast. Oh, you can see the humping spy that Minifet did.
If I may level 1 criticism, it's that Lewis's mouth was animated far too well when he said grabbing pills.
Too well.
For it to be a rubber fruit video, I have to say, yeah.
Yeah. No,
And then in a bit you can see what was it? Odin's Pizza
yeah.
Place. That was
When
it.
When
Mhm.
in Rome.
When in Rome.
It's probably the best bit about the video.
When in Rome.
Yeah. Managed to get the teeth. Bling.
Also, if I
No.
might say, you replicated Kitty's style pretty well, I have to say. It also kind of is combined with Das Bullshit a little bit, and I like that.
Well, they
She
work.
knows no
The
hacks,
proudest moment of my
friends.
Gmod career, trying to time the heavy going up into the air and then the train whacking into him.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
I
I remember,
remember
you
you
actually
having some
working on
trouble
that
about that.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
here is Penis Cupcake.
The original.
There he is.
The man,
The
the
man,
legend.
the legend.
I will eat you.
You did
Yeah,
a lot
that
of
was a
extra stuff you didn't
reference.
have to, like the him having to say exactly the right voice. Like it
Yeah.
has to be the right clip. It has to be the right clips.
Has to be
together in
very
order to be
specific,
proper.
not to be truly accurate.
Yeah.
It was a pet
Right.
peeve of mine.
Oh no, I understand. I'm guilty of doing that. It's like the third Gmod video I ever made.
And
I'm
then there's
kind of
Gentle Spy.
Yeah.
I'm
I have a
kinda
little
like-
headcanon that
Yeah,
Gentle
I-
Spy is actually the Christian Brutal Sniper's friend spy who just went mental just as he did.
I really hate all the I really hate having to do a bunch of extra editing. So I'm always impressed when I see other people go through the effort of doing it.
Yeah.
Like with the
I
audio.
haven't used any stop motion helper in this video. I mean, next Gmod video that will get uploaded, I will use a stop motion helper. By the
It's
way,
a
when
big
the
help.
sniper comes down, you know in the sniper lore that he's summoned by a trumpet. Well,
Right, yeah.
just before Dick Soupcan falls down, you can actually see the Vagineer with the trumpet.
I don't actually think I noticed that.
I didn't notice
No
that.
one ever did.
Mine either.
I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
But it was just like a few pixels wide, so you couldn't really see it.
I like it
Sometime-
whenever you can actually put in like little hidden stuff like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Thanks.
kind of guilty of being an eye for subtle details.
I
all
don't
very
because I'm
cool.
stupid.
And there's Seaman just exiting. So I implied that those 2008 characters will die, as I did in the full life consequences bit.
The old
Bit
the old
foreshadowing.
memes memes are
Oh,
slaughtered
right.
by the new.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I meant when they will die. I literally meant
Right,
that they
okay.
will die.
Gotcha.
I want to just become stone somehow.
Yeah, and you can see the methods of death.
Mhm. Oh
And here
boy.
comes the big man himself.
The giant jump scare. I don't
The
think
worst
Yeah.
worst face meme of all.
The giant clitoris
The one
with
and
an
only.
engineering degree.
It's
Sure,
Scorpio
you know,
by
like,
reverse
looks like
talking
somewhere.
Texan.
I think I was subconsciously referencing the thing here. Like when the scout turns into the Vagineer
The
face and then
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I can
separates.
kind of see that. Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then Heavy comes to the same conclusion we all do. That bad Gmod video should be left in the past and never brought up again.
Too bad people will do it anyway, because apparently they're old Sega now.
See when he crushed the time machine in his hand and it turned into a pistol. That was a reference to that Pills Crusher video that Rubberfruit made.
Oh, I remember that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then I had to, since no annotations exist anymore, thanks YouTube, fucking pricks, I had to like mock up the annotation.
That's fair.
Oh, you cut out the
Yeah.
ending with who's it? Who's that guy? Stout Shaco, Demopan,
Demopan.
and then
Oh,
a
yeah,
short, yeah, and then a short reference to fucking what's its face, Vicious Cycle.
Oh, this,
okay,
oh,
gotcha.
Jojo.
But,
Yeah.
general rule of thumb: don't rely on YouTube for anything. Assume that it's going to mess something up, and just make your videos with that in mind. Have annotations
Yeah.
already there or whatever. Like
Yeah,
automatic
the-
captions, you can put.
Yeah.
You can trust YouTube with. Like
Yeah,
not
but-
automatic, but like the captions you write out for stuff. But
And on
aside
like
from that,
on like a small topic of YouTube, I see a lot of people like worrying about like the ad revenue and everything. But like my huge thing is don't go with like ad revenue, don't show ads on your videos. Just go
Yeah.
crowdfunding. It's a
I
better way
have-
to go.
I have
Yeah,
never
if you
monetized
go-
my videos ever.
So
Yeah,
if you
there
go
you go.
on expecting to get ad revenue,
Then you're doing it wrong already.
Then you're a
Wrong.
fool.
YouTube,
You are a fool.
yeah, we'll get into how YouTube mucks things up a little later. But for now, Butane Boss, you mentioned that you're gonna start mentioning. You started mentioning how you're going to try and using stop motion helper. Like your next video is going to be using stop
Yeah,
motion.
I did make the first minute of Magic Gay Infinite.
Yeah, I saw
And,
the preview you posted earlier.
I think I've got the hang of it.
It's a big help.
Suffice to say.
And speaking of
I-
that,
Is this a transition, Impy?
yes, it is. That's why I keep
Yeah.
trying to say this. When I try to say the same thing about 5 times in a row, that's generally what I mean.
See,
With
we're,
that-
we're trying to go from this bit to the next bit seamlessly.
Now, where's
Yeah.
the Windows Movie
and I'm doing it
Maker?
horribly. Windows Movie Maker will always be above Vegas. But anyways,
Where's the
Somebody-
Terry Gilliam animation?
a little bit ago, somebody uploaded an add-on that allowed you to,
Oh,
actually, I don't even remember what it was. Anyone want to refresh me on what it does?
It's the stop motion helper physics recorder, and I
Oh, right.
believe that it's like you can actually record. It's sort of like how motion capture works in a sort of way, which you could just like move around the ragdoll and it records those frames.
So it's made to be like if you're on a, I'm guessing the purpose is if you're on a map that has like moving clouds and things like that you can't control, that you could animate something in sync with that. Is that the idea behind it?
I think so.
I think it's more along the line of
yeah, I
like,
do see some uses for it. It would have been very useful to me in 2015 before I had
imagine
good enough
puppeteering.
computer to run
Imagine like
Shadowplay.
puppeteering in videos like back then and everything. That's basically like auto keyframing those movements is what I
Okay,
mean.
so this
So,
is
like,
that's kind of what. No, I want to say something. This is kind of what I did back when I started. When I wanted to record physics, ragdoll physics, I slowed the game down to a crawl and just rapid fire took screenshots. If this add-on was around when I was just starting, it would have made my life a lot easier, I think.
I used to
now I
use-
Of course, now I just record things when I want to do that.
See, stop
Maybe-
motion helper made me lazy because now I just use that SMH make screenshot tool, and I just mentally, when I look at maps, I go, can I use this map for an animation? Something moving in the background? Nope. We're using a different map. Just out of
See, in
habit.
that case, I would.
When I
just-
want to mix up frames and physics, I cutter in Vegas.
I just hate going through all the effort of trying to time the screenshots and then finding out one looks really bad and it looks like a bad cut.
Yeah.
yeah.
I started getting into the habit of just relying on the SMH's recorder thing.
Yeah.
Has anything happened this past year that's made animation look better or easier in Gary's Mod lately?
Well,
I
Um,
think
For
that
me,
I-
it's SMH itself.
Yeah.
yeah, like
in
it got an
terms
update
of,
a few
like,
times
actual-
last year.
In
Like
terms
any-
of actual add-ons and stuff, I don't believe there's really anything new besides the auto recorder I would say. But
Well,
I mean,
Oh,
there is the new update to SMH that allows you to scroll through the keyframes and kind of zoom out of it as well, kind of like you would in Blender when you're.
yeah. And only
Isn't it
that, but you
also-
can also export the image, the keyframes to. You can export the frames to uncompressed images. I think they're Tegras or something.
Isn't there also an incoming update like in the near future that's going to allow you to have a second timeline for face posing?
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
separate
Korea
from-
has.
That's the one
I want that.
advantage Henry's animation tool has over stop motion helper.
Yeah, true.
So what you're saying is Seedmoz is going to have to switch over to SMH.
He already uses it, kind of. He doesn't
Well,
really
I guess
care,
so, because
from what I
only
remember.
because of SMH having a save feature that works.
Yeah. That's been
I
the
wouldn't
big
know
draw.
anything about
To,
these things.
well, let me tell you, buddy, it's a whole new world. Not having to do everything in one go and actually being able to save it. It
Yeah,
is
it's fantastic.
wonderful.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I found
yeah.
Gmod animation a lot
Usually,
less
I
tedious
just do
after
things
that.
in one go anyway, but saving is very useful
Yeah.
for when I
Yeah.
can't do that.
I had to go into Steam overlay and look at the screenshots, then go back manually, see if it matches up. But nah, SMH is really good.
I myself usually don't even use like Steam screenshots for animation whatsoever. I just use fraps and just make a hotkey and then just make another hotkey just to go to the next frame. And I keep on doing that like repeatedly, just recording all those frames. Essentially, I'm the renderer.
I used to do that, and then my fingers started getting so sore, so I just started relying on SMH's recorder tool, and then it kind of stuck, which I should probably get out of the habit of because PNGs look a lot nicer than JPEGs.
But when you capture it with if you capture the footage, then wouldn't that bloat the file size compared to like having individual frames?
I think it
Might just have
depends
to
on the
experiment.
recorder
I
you
suppose it
use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might just have to experiment a little bit.
I mean, Fraps usually has very big file sizes because it's an AVI format if you're recording video, which is very well known for retaining a lot of quality in comparison to MP4.
I use
Yeah.
OBS.
Yeah, I know that Fraps itself doesn't do much compression with the AVI, so that's why the file sizes can be pretty big.
They can go up to like 1 gig within like maybe about a minute or so, I would say. It is a possibility.
I started relying on WMV because for some reason, whenever I'd render an MP4 on my PC, the video would turn dark for some reason. Like it would darken it. So I just started
yeah.
sticking with WMV, and then
I think that's a common bug with Vegas, depending on what you use to render.
yeah.
Yeah, I got that when I was rendering some work in progress stuff.
Yeah,
I've
a lot of
had-
times whenever I render in MP4 with the regular internet 1080p preset, it gets a little bit darker.
Yeah, I've had moments where Vegas crashed during one video I was rendering, so I had to do this weird workaround. I'll first render the video in AVI format, and then use Handbrake to compress into a format YouTube would accept. It was crazy. It required a bit of hard drive space, but it worked well.
Just don't get in a hurry and experiment a little bit to figure out what works best.
Yeah, always have a
that's
plan
the
B
takeaway.
if you need to.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, moving on to the next thing. We need to
can't
talk.
wait.
We need to talk about another video that came out lately. Lately.
Oh, okay.
By the name of Super Source Bros.
And it's the one I was talking about earlier.
Those of you that don't know, this is a little collab that was done, and it's kind of a big old parody of the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Everybody Is Here video.
Yep.
With everybody's favorite OCs or whatever the heck else getting into the game. That will never happen.
Yeah, the video was fine. Some bits were better than others, for sure.
Absolutely. There were some
I
parts
can pick
that
out
they-
2 or 3 specific entries that were terrible, and 2 of them, but yeah, 1 or 2 of them were made by the same person.
I
I
want
won't
to.
say who it is because he's probably watching. Haha.
So all of you can feel anxious and wonder which video he's talking about. Is he talking about yours?
If you don't mind, I could like to talk about the process of making mine. But
Okay, you can go ahead.
Oh yeah, of course.
I was gonna say I really liked yours because of how it blended it together. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Why don't
my
you
part
elaborate?
was interesting for me because I was trying this little new workflow I did where every day I'll at least try to work on a little bit at a time, and when I got bored I can then stop and work on it again later. And it was interesting when I came up with the idea of Paper Mario and Mecha Sonic, because at first it was just me listening to music, and then I thought, wait a minute, that King Dedede has a hammer, and this Rosalie is also blue, and then it eventually came to the idea of Paper Mario going against Mecha Sonic and something. It ended up with, okay, I need to catch my breath. And it ended up with me getting the idea of them, if these two characters ended up in a situation kind of similar to the web series Super Mario Bros. Z. I'm not sure if anyone here remembers that, but
I don't
Yeah,
even know
that's
who that
why.
is, or what that is, rather.
well, basically think of what happens if you take Dragon Ball Z and make it fill with Mario and Sonic characters, and the big villain of that was Mecha Sonic. So I thought I'd do something like that, and anime Paper Mario was interesting to say the least. I mean, at first I was going to use the textures on Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, but then turns out the sprite rip available was pretty poor quality. So I searched around for a bit, and I found this custom sprite sheet by E-Man, and it was really nice.
By He-Man?
Well, not E-Man.
Hey man!
Okay, basically take He-Man but remove the H, and you get the grapevine.
Yeah, there you go. All right.
That would just
And-
be E-Man.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I meant.
Oh boy.
But then when it-
He-Man's not here! I don't want to be in this podcast anymore!
Hey,
Like
get out of here, Skeleton.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, piss off.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were saying
so-
You were saying something?
You were
so
saying
obvi-
something?
So obviously, for Mecha Sonic, I was doing the Gmod like always, but for Paper Mario, I kind of cheated a bit and used Adobe Flash to animate Paper Mario, but so I can have him, so I can animate him on a 3D space to make it look very convincing. I had this random Mario Ragdoll move around on the map and record the camera movement, so I had some sort of point of reference when I put Paper Mario in the video, so I can keep an eye on the scale and such.
Okay. That's
Let me
pretty smart.
let me tell you that animating in Flash was a pain in the butt because no matter what I did, it will lag into insanity whenever I tried to move apart body parts.
These things
It was
happen.
crazy. Yeah, that was part of why it took a bit for me to work on. And
So,
then,
okay, go.
and then at the very end, it was a matter of working on various video effects to put in, and even at the very end, I kind of did a little 3D trickery where it was all animated in 2D, but I made it look like it was animated in 3D a little bit with how I scaled the characters.
Right.
Even Mecha Sonic was like, I hadn't boost. I intentionally animated it in 60 frames per second, but when I went to Vegas, I made it 30 and used resampling to make it look very convincing. It was made because of the fire behind it being much faster than how I wanted it to be.
Mm.
Very interesting.
So-
the rest of the video was all right.
Yeah, there was some bits that were really good, and then there are
Yeah.
others that could have been better, but they
It
definitely
made me want to join because oh yeah, I could have done this. It would have been
It just-
fun. I probably would
Yeah,
have put
same.
in Bill Collins
There
or
were
something.
some that like I kind of like. There were a few of them that were incredibly good, and there were a few of them that just irked me to no end just because
yeah.
of the animation. That's just me though.
So who else submitted an
yeah.
entry to those
One in-
to it?
One in
Did
particular,
anybody hear?
I think he's in Yugoi, was terrible.
Well, I know Raph, the other guy who did the TF2 reviews, also did an entry, and no, he did two entries for it.
Oh yeah, Wrath did
nice.
fine.
And I know Vanotech, like the guy, the Vanotech, I think that's her name. She did a
Fanatec, yeah.
part of her.
Also, shout outs to Lil Scorpion. Your entry was good as well.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one.
I rated
Also,
Yeah.
shout out to Grindor because his was pretty alright too. I loved Grindor.
I think one of my favorite parts was the whole part with Sigma, which then connected to Xenoblade Chronicles in the same scene. Like that was a pretty clever use of connecting
That-
two enemies together.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, I don't know who any of those are.
Also,
That's cool, though.
I forgot which one it was, but whoever included Sora, you're bad because Sora will never be in Smash. For even joking about that.
Everyone point and laugh.
No, your entry was good. I forget who you are, but you did a really good job with that one. So,
But yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
That's
I would say
always-
I haven't actually seen the video, but I will do.
I will say it
Wow.
was.
Okay,
Even though
Monsieur
it
Herr.
might be, even though people might think differently on the video, but I will say just working with other people and even talking to them, it was a pretty fun time. We're talking to the others in Bottom's Discord.
Right.
The collabs are always fun when they're amongst people that are actually capable of sharing their interests. It's always fun. Anyways, moving swiftly on to the next thing. I'm pretty sure there was a segue for it, but whatever it was, it's lost on me. Some inspirations for animating. Like, what have been some inspirations to you to get animating in Gmod? It can be in general or from the beginning, because, like I said, the last video I did was inspired by Smash Ultimate's upcoming release and my realization that I keep asking for Midna, even though it's probably never going to happen. That was kind of inspiration for me. What other inspirations do you guys have?
So the
When I
irony
was-
is no,
you go.
no, hold on. The irony is for me, I don't watch animation at all. My inspiration mostly comes from movies, even though I don't really watch movies or music. Sometimes I get inspirations from music because there's one part in Fever Dream 4 I'm still making where I'm putting in Pink Floyd's "Welcome to the Machine." I think I showed you that. There's a preview that I put in Yugoi.
I believe I've seen that before.
With
Yeah.
the Games Without Frontiers bit.
Yeah.
I should see. Oh yeah, that.
Yeah. I'm making it all very deliberately confusing because that's the whole point of the video.
Like a fever dream.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, it's justified. I can make as little sense as I want.
There you go.
But for Fever Dream 4, I initially wanted to, when I first started it, I wanted it to be a sort of James Bond thing because I made a gun barrel sequence with my super cool spy guy. Ended up not doing that because then I watched Eraserhead, and after watching Eraserhead, I was like, "Yeah, shit, this is what I want to do." So a lot of David Lynch in there.
David
Yeah, Fever
Lynch
Dream
is
4
the
is not
best.
coming out, so who cares?
Yeah, we already heard it from
Yeah.
Butane.
Yeah, and obviously I was pretty inspired by Monty Python to make the Monty Python video.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was actually really well done. I gotta give you that.
The Brits are
No,
always.
I'm Mr. 46.
No, I'm Mr. 46. Mr. 47 is next door.
Good.
There's
you
the
want me to
voice. There it is.
I'd like to
So-
have somebody killed, please.
So how about you, Butane Boss? What inspired you to make that nostalgic Gmod video?
Magic.
Shit,
I wonder.
I did, like, recently, before the video, I just reached, like, 1,000 subscribers, and I wanted to make some nice, fun thing for it, and I just thought, well, what actually got me into Gmodding anyway? And I had a look at the old videos, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to make a nostalgic Gmod video. It was that thought process, really.
Yeah. It was very
then-
aptly titled, I must say.
For thanks.
Haha.
But yeah, for animation in general, I used to be into plasticine animation when I was a lot younger. I had a little digital camera and I was posing plasticine.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
Thank
kind
you,
of
Drew.
I was kind of inspired by Clay World. Remember Robert Benfer,
Mhm. Absolutely.
Pancake Mines?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
know
was.
exactly what you're talking about because I feel the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
used to
was
do that all the
inspired a
time
lot
with
by that.
Legos.
I wish I kept
Yeah.
those animations really, but
Oh yeah. I remember many, many years ago I wanted to do Clay World stuff as well.
Yeah.
That ended up not happening,
oh.
but the idea was there. I just didn't follow through on it.
So yeah, I think okay with animation. I mean, the concept of it.
Yeah.
I think I remember reading my parents' book about Aardman animation.
There's some intense typing happening in the background.
Indeed.
But yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anyway,
think.
Focusing Magic Gay in the chat.
Yeah,
you were saying Sanguine?
In general, I was always kind of interested just with the way characters moved in video games like Devil May Cry, whether it be in combat or in the cutscenes and everything. And I was always just interested in things like Soul Calibur, just combat in general, and that's just kind of what got me into it. I wanted to make believable characters and also be like also have them be incredibly badass at the same time. So that's kind of what I strive to do.
Deadly
And that's
serious.
what most of like my combat animations come from. It's just me kind of thinking of different like movements that characters have made in video games like Metal Gear Rising, Devil May Cry, and just kind of incorporating that into my sort of animation work. But the rest of the time, I find myself inspired by a lot of the old Gary's Mod videos that I've seen growing up in terms of comedy, and I just kind of wanted to factor that in and put my own little flair onto it. So that's kind of where mine comes from. But just in general, I love like the idea of the movement of characters on like just a screen or whatever, just making characters come to life. That's really my kind of thing there.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I seem to be drawn to things that are hard to do. Like, like I get like when I play Smash Brothers, I get drawn to the characters that are hard to play as, and I don't know. I think Bidda was a huge challenge for me to animate, and that's kind of the reason I like animating her so much, because she is hard to animate. But when I managed to successfully do it, I think it really looks good in the end. Plus, it did help me develop some good practices, like.
Oh,
Hang on,
lately I've
something's
been...
gone wrong with the audio.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Huh,
Give it a
today
sec.
must be bad luck day for me.
Is
It's a
everything back now?
We good?
Okay.
Right,
It's a
apparently it's
thing.
back. Wait.
Okay.
Cool.
Technical difficulties resolved.
There we go.
there
We're
we
good.
go.
Yeah.
You were saying something? Oh, hello, phone. Shut up, please.
Get out. Right, piss off.
And it's a tweet from Tick. Shut up, Tick.
At least it's not my phone. I have a
Yes,
quad
I'm calling
damage
you out.
alert on my phone.
Anyhow, back onto the topic at hand. Sunky, you were saying.
Yes.
Okay, so I can't really say about general inspiration for when I started, but if I'm talking now, I've been kind of getting inspired by various shows I've watched lately. Like a few years ago, I haven't been watching much TV shows because I just stopped watching TV altogether. But more recently, I've been getting ideas from videos and certain animated shows I've watched, and I guess more lately my live light and dislike has been kind of playing a role into the ideas I've had in my mind. I've already said before about the whole. I've already said about the whole Source Bros entry, but I will say for the whole 20-second entry thing with Scarlet and Bubsy, the whole line of "We're playing Bubsy, screw you" was inspired by this one line someone said about playing Bubsy on Discord, and I don't know, it was so funny that I thought I'd just get Scout to say it. I mean, I was
Good
going to use the
stuff.
audio for it, but then it turns out the original video that had it in died because outside reasons.
Oh.
I hate it when videos die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
hate going
dead.
to their funerals.
And I
Shame.
blame Blue Vegeta for it.
So, since we were talking about things that inspired us, another thing that inspired me is, well, of course, the big industry, Disney, the likes. I just always
Oh,
enjoyed
yeah.
animation.
Great
Oh, yeah.
segue.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. So since
Everyone
thank you. So
Excellent.
why don't we talk about this in this totally normal transition about the industry as a whole, about stuff that's happened the past little while, some big movies that have come out, and a lot of people are getting excited over it. Some people got really.
Are we going to talk about
Maybe we
Aladdin?
should talk about Aladdin.
Let's talk about some good things before we get into the negatives.
Okay.
How to Train Your Dragon came out, I saw a lot of people that normally don't get excited for movies get excited about that one. It was really odd.
Oh yeah, I saw Into the Spider-Verse. That was good.
Yeah,
I
Into the
wanted
Spider-Verse
to
was a really good movie.
Oh,
Honestly.
yeah, I suppose we're all Spider-Man now. Anyone can be Spider-Man.
Yeah, all you need is a PS2 and some pizza.
Yeah, there you go.
Can I be a Spider-Man? Can I be a
Of course.
Spider-Man?
Of course you can.
Do you know they
Spider-
actually were?
Wow.
What's your spider sona?
Did you know that they were actually considering having Tobey Maguire play the part of old Peter Parker? That would have been great.
Yeah.
That would have
would've been
been
great.
genius, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it also would have meant he left Mary Jane, because that universe's Mary Jane was the worst character ever.
True.
But anyways, enough on Spider-Man. What else has come out lately, like big animation news-wise?
Well,
There is one movie that, in my opinion, is like bit in between with me. It's what is it? Alita Battle Angel or whatever the hell it is. Can't
Oh,
remember.
yeah.
What it's like basically
Big
if
eyes.
you big eyes.
Yeah,
That's
big
it. That's all I
big
can say.
eyes.
And,
It looks
and CGI cyborg characters.
the CGI cyborg characters look fine. The big eyes, no. I would
Yeah.
just say no on that completely. Like
Also,
I'm sure,
turning into a cyborg gives you blue blood.
right,
blue
yeah.
blood. How does that work inside a robot?
What is this? Detroit become human?
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure Detroit Become Human was already a movie, but it was disguised as a PS4 game.
Get out of our lives,
Yeah.
David.
I mean, can't you tell by
So
Mr.
would-
Krabs being in the game?
So is Metal Gear Solid 2, and no one cares.
Well, yeah,
Metal Gear
because
Solid
Metal
was
Gear
in-
Solid was a good game.
Metal Gear Solid 4 was a movie with a game attached,
Oh, yeah.
and no one cares about that.
Brother!
Well, I haven't played Metal Gear anyway, so I won't care about either.
So, how did the since I haven't seen it, how did the big anime eyes look? By the way, like on a normal person.
You can see the trailer, can't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can,
Well,
but
that and I saw a bit of the movie myself, and no.
I was just gonna say because
You know, you
I only
see,
ask. I only
with these
ask.
things, I don't give a shit. If
If
people
that's-
like
Someone on
something,
a private Discord was
if
talking
people
about that
don't
very
like
thing.
something, who cares? You can like whatever you want,
Mm.
as long
I
as
don't-
it's not tiny children.
I only ask because sometimes CGI looks really bad in the trailer, and then in the movie it actually looks good. Like I was laughing at how Thanos looked, and then I actually saw the movie and I went, "Oh, he actually looks really good." To the point
I
where,
thought something could change between a trailer and the final release.
I actually kind of forgot he was CGI, and I just thought it was like practical effects at some points.
No,
Perhaps
usually
with
that
going to the
happens.
film, you sort of accept it.
Yeah, because you already know what to expect, and then once
No,
you're
usually quality changes
Speaking-
like that usually only happen in Ubisoft games, and even then, it's the reverse.
Speaking of, what did you
What?
think of Tarkin in Rogue One?
he looks like a very, very high budget PlayStation 4 character.
He looks like Peter
That's
Cushing.
sort of way, yeah.
I thought
I've
it was pretty decent, to be honest.
I've
It was
heard
okay.
I've heard somebody say that
Yeah,
say
when I
this, but
saw-
I think go ahead.
Yeah, when I saw Rogue One, I was like, okay, yeah, that looks pretty weird, pretty uncanny, but I didn't get creeped out by it.
I've
Yeah.
heard somebody say this, I forget who, but I heard somebody say that part of the reason that effect looks bad to a lot of people is probably because you know that the actor it's trying to be is dead.
Yeah.
You know it's not real.
Yeah.
So you're
that's
looking
very
for
true.
Seconds.
Peter
That's
Cushing's
the
been
Seconds,
dead for-
young, who's she? Princess Leia.
Yeah, nobody talks about that one, and that's the one that made me go, "Whoa, that's
that's-
not good." That's
That's
not good.
because it's only for a few seconds, so your mind hasn't really.
But that looks
got
way
used to it.
worse than Tarkin does. Way
It's
worse.
true.
The eyes look too big, like
Oh, yeah.
too beady.
Way too big.
I mean, I only saw Rogue One once when it came out, so I don't remember.
I'm gonna
But,
see a picture of it.
But yeah,
Yeah, please
some
do.
movies look better in the actual movie as opposed to the trailers. You know what probably won't look good, just like it does in the trailer?
Oh, I have a feeling I
Aladdin.
know exactly
Will
what-
Smith's
Wow.
genie.
Our
Hey
ways
guys, let me
out.
tell you about the time I took over Disney and made an Aladdin movie.
Because
The
we are
Fresh
going to
Prince of the Middle East.
talk about the ultimate example of things that some things just, as the great Ebert once said, look better in animation than it does in live action. There are things in animation you can do that you just can't do in live action.
Exactly.
The character of the genie, I'm quite positive, is something you can only do in animation. Let's talk
I'm gonna link something.
That's fair.
So let's talk about why it looks so bad. Let us talk about why it just doesn't work.
It's Phil
Anybody?
Arabia, born and raised down in my fucking.
Oh yeah, for one, the CGI isn't very good. That doesn't help.
No,
no,
it's not.
It sucks.
It's just Will Smith's face on a CGI.
I'm not too familiar
I've
with
seen Will Smith
Aladdin
before.
myself, but just looking at Will Smith and the pictures I've seen on Twitter, I'm like, oh my, is that a parody or is that just like a joke on how Will Smith took over YouTube Rewind and stuff? But
Please
no
tell me that
actual
this
thing?
man is not actually going to be playing the genie.
He probably will.
He's
Well,
getting
I
paid
don't-
either way.
I don't mind Will Smith.
Anything to
probably
keep
gonna-
his career
He's probably
afloat.
going to take over every movie released in the next few years.
Yeah.
You know what I think would have been the best option for portraying the genie in live action? No
Will
one.
Simpson.
I don't think it should have been done at all. Of all the movies, along with other reasons that I won't mention, I would have thought Aladdin would be like at the bottom end of things that Disney would want to remake. The main reason, like Herr said, being Robin Williams. The reason the character of the
What if
genie
they
works
CG?
so well, the reason the
CGI
character of the
Robin Williams.
Yeah, like
Oh.
a la Peter Cushing. in
Well, given that
Robocop.
Robin Williams apparently had bad blood with Disney after that movie, that probably would have really pissed off his living family. So
It
they probably
would.
couldn't.
Yeah.
Like I know the guy that plays Homer Simpson filled in for him, like in the animated series and in the sequel.
Mm.
Yeah,
But-
like Danny Castellaneta, I
but-
think that's his name.
But the reason the character of the genie worked so well in the animated movie was because of Robin Williams, because of how quickly he could do impressions and just go from one joke to the other. Having a character that could shapeshift and move all over the place and change size and whatever else really lended himself to Robin Williams' voice. So not only does it work only with animation, but it only works with somebody like Robin Williams, and Will Smith just isn't that.
See, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen the movie yet. I still want about it. You
I
never
can
know.
imagine.
It might just be good. Probably not, but it might just be good. I'm
I
trying to
wonder
keep-
what's going to be the biggest movie made of 2019: the Sonic the Hedgehog movie or Will Smith as the genie. That's a pretty tough competition. honestly.
Like the Hedgehog
It's a
movie.
good lineup for this year.
More people are probably going to go see the Aladdin movie than the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Well,
so
no,
not
people
we'll
like to
probably
buy
hear more
splat
complaints
Sonic
about
things
that.
There's a thing I
anyway.
forgot to say about the good CGI effects. Blade Runner 2049 with Rachel.
Hey, there we go. Okay.
I've not seen that, so I can't comment on that.
Ah.
But I will take
That
your
was
word
good.
for it.
Let's see. I was planning on seeing 2049 when it came out, but I hadn't seen the original.
You
And
should.
I never got around to seeing the original.
Final
Mm.
Cut. But yeah,
Final Cut.
with like, mixing real life with animation, it depends how you do it. Because, I mean, with Who Framed Roger Rabbit, that was the whole point.
Oh yeah.
But
Who
the
Framed
point,
Roger Rabbit's great. Don't
But
let
in Who
YouTube
Framed-
catch me saying that.
but in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, the characters are all traditionally animated. They're not CGI'd to be made to look realistic and like everything else. Like Roger Rabbit doesn't look like an actual rabbit with fur and like wrinkles and weird
Looks like a
proportions.
cartoon. And that's
That's-
It's
Actually, did a
animation.
live action adaptation of that.
And that's the reason I just don't see Will Smith's genie working. The actor aside,
here.
I can't see a human being morphing like Will Smith's Robin
No,
Williams'
no.
genie did in the
Okay.
original.
Yeah,
Hold on.
true.
Picture
And-
this. Picture this. I'm trying
and
to
not
get
being
it. Picture
creepy.
this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Animated Bob Hoskins, CGI Roger Rabbit.
No,
The real world's
No.
animated, and all the cartoons are CGI.
they made an animated Bob
So
Hoskins
the-
once. It was called Bonkers, and it was horrible.
Oh,
No,
That's
boy.
bonkers.
I was going to say that
They
Barry Hoskins will probably will be Mario.
Bonkers was a very bad cartoon that was kind of trying to be like Roger Rabbit, but everything was animated, so it didn't make sense because the humans were also
I don't
animated.
know. I've seen people more compared to Animaniacs, if anything.
Plus, the character was really annoying. The main character was really annoying. But aside from that,
Bonkers.
but yeah, I don't see Will Smith's genie morphing into different people and being different things, and it not being creepy.
What if
Like-
the genie was fully animated, though? Like just
Well,
normal.
well,
Instead of
with,
having Dunmer Will Smith.
Can only be Will Smith. Dunmer Will Smith.
with
Yeah,
good
he
enough
probably did
budget,
a default Fortnite
Yeah, you
dance
see
in the
Will Smith-
movie.
You see Will Smith in something, you just go, "Oh, that's Will Smith." It's like Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
See,
You
whenever
see the
it comes
actor, not
to
the character.
Yeah.
whenever it comes to like real life adaptations of like animations and stuff like that, I'll say first and foremost that I think that animation is just better overall, just because it's like you can put your own art style into it and like how you perceive that it should look and everything because it's your creation. But to have it adapted to real life, I feel like it's like taking away the charm a little bit, in my opinion. Like, sure, there's probably some good that you can do with it, you know, make it like probably more relatable in some ways, just because it's like actual people acting out the characters. But at the same time, I feel like that still takes away the charm that animation has with it because you can put so much flair into the actual art itself.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's just kind of me.
I'm open to different adaptations of things because most of the like Disney movies that everybody remembers are the movies that are movies that were based on, you know, old fairy tales and stuff, and those are books. So
Okay.
some things can transition from different mediums.
That is true. That is true.
But then again, kind of Disney kind of made it their own, you know.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I think they
I
should
think
remake the bad movies.
This one looks more like a cash cow.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're starting to go in circles. So
Yeah.
Wait for
Why don't
that
we
time
move-
to say
why don't-
anything.
why don't we move on and
We tend to
Vigar
go.
says
Take-
imagine
take
you're a
some
CGI
questions.
horror movie.
yeah, no. Let's move on. Let's take some questions. First up here, we have one from Penal. Penal, I'll just call you Penal.
Yeah.
What do you think about animation collabs without any sort of quality control?
Death sentence.
Yeah.
Absolute death sentence.
Well,
Move
you,
on, next question.
Wasted time.
at this point, you might as well just make a clip compilation of stolen videos.
Pretty much, yeah.
Cool.
You have the
Move
fizz
on,
gun
next
visible. You have the health bar. It doesn't
And
look like
forg-
shit.
and don't forget the FNAF jump scares. The people somehow sneak in.
I'll put it.
The
I'll put
important
it
thing
this
is you
way.
have to recognize effort.
I'll put
Yeah.
it this way. You know what also had no quality control and all the reins were just given to somebody and say, do what you want? George
Yeah.
Lucas. If all the money in the world and all the creative freedom can be given to somebody who's proven himself before and it can still go bad, that's probably a sign that quality control is pretty important.
What do you think of the What's in the Box collab? A lot of folk were talking about the quality control of that.
Well, it was kind of a mixed bag for me when it came to part 1, but then part 2 was a mess.
Mm.
I quite like
Should've
the
just
second
submitted
entry of
That
of the
video I
collab.
did in 2015 about Soldier opening a box. Because that's the video. I was ahead of my time, god damn it.
You
were.
invented many tropes. You should sue everybody.
Yeah.
So
First, you say you made the whole nostalgic video thing. And
Yeah.
then you had the box thing.
I think that part of the problem.
I'm a
Okay.
visionary, god damn it.
I think part of the problem with a lot of these collabs, like as far as quality control goes, is that a lot of them don't know how to tell somebody no.
Yeah.
Like they're
I feel
afraid
that,
they're
yeah.
afraid of offending people, which nowadays is a real fear to have. But
Yeah,
just-
I'm
you-
kind of guilty of that, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
that's why
that. Sorry, you go.
Yeah.
Come
I think an important thing to do is to
back.
set up some strict rules right off the bat so that the intake of bad entries will just decrease right off the bat.
Yeah, that's the whole
Personally-
problem, really. Telling someone no but being firm and polite. You don't want to come
True.
across as a wank.
That's why I
Yeah.
think you need tight rules right off the bat. That way, if somebody submits a bad entry, you can just say, this breaks the rules. So no, it's not getting in. And then if they argue about that, that just makes them look bad. So
What about the
you don't have
content?
to worry about that.
If some character says some you don't like, what are you going to do about it?
Well, you could always just have them, if they make it in advance enough, you could just have them change it, like edit something in post or go back and reanimate it. I mean, it's not fun to do, but that's also why you don't procrastinate. It's why you give people enough time of a heads up.
You're talking to me.
You should give people enough time to think about things and do it, but also emphasize, get this done now so that when the deadline comes, you'll be ready and you can make any changes you need to make before the day before.
Yeah.
So about most people don't keep that in mind.
What do you guys think could improve collabs like this?
Have a big
Don't.
deadline,
Yeah.
just so that I wouldn't say noobs, but just like unskilled folk would have plenty of time to improve and refine. So there's no excuse for having a bad one.
Yeah, personally, to me, when it comes to collabs, if I was to ever make one myself, especially if it's my first time making a collab, I would want to have it as like maybe a closed one first to see how people would kind of like work together, I suppose you could say. And at least then, if you're like choosing people that you want to be in the collab, or maybe like posting a bit of a thing to like close sort of community that you're in, then at least like there's some people who at least know you, and it's like it's a little bit more of like a closer community in that sort of collab.
Yeah,
I suppose.
I mean, people like to make stuff open for you as the viewer to try out, but it just doesn't always work out.
Not any questions here though, so
yeah. So
move on.
Let's move on to these other questions because I'd like to get through as many of them as we can. From Vigor, we have the question of any ideas for a video you want to make but know is pretty much impossible to do.
Ooh,
I have many.
That's a good one.
For Dream 4?
That's
my 10th anniversary video.
I've had some. I've
been thinking
I've had ideas of videos I want to make, but I think, oh yeah, I can't really do the cool effect I see someone else doing. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't know how to do this thing.
That series I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, I keep wanting to get off the ground. That's something that's pretty much impossible to do in the current state, because I have all these ideas of a big thing I want to make, but I'm just one person. I can't do it all by myself.
It's the right feeling.
I've been thinking of the plot of my 10th anniversary video for like 2 years, and I still don't even know how to make it or what the plot is.
There was one.
I'm not gonna.
Video I was making in like the middle of last year, and I have been putting it on complete hiatus for the past few days, or not the past few days, but at least since last year. That's what I mean. But it was essentially supposed to be just like this entire duel against a scout and a heavy, and it was basically just going to be like a huge anime fight or whatever. And I would specifically translate every one of the lines in Japanese so I could voice act it all in Japanese, but I never got to actually do it, even though I was doing so much like storyboarding and ideas for what would happen during the fight and what would happen whenever they're monologuing towards each other, just that sort of thing, but I never actually got to doing it. And some of the effects that I wanted to do later on in the video probably wouldn't have worked in Gary's mod either, just because of how convoluted and insane it is, and I don't really think any sort of map in Gary's mod can really hold that.
Yeah, that's what my thing, because I feel like I want to learn something like, I don't know, maybe Adobe After Effects or something, so I could do some of the fancy effects I want to do, but who knows how long that will take, because I ain't paying a monthly subscription just to use one piece of software.
Yeah, that's true.
I also don't mean to derail too much, but pro tip to anybody that's starting out with Gmod or is trying to get back into it, don't start with big projects. Start with little things. Work
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
little
that's-
things.
Just
Work
take
on
it from
big
me.
things. Work on big things. If you want to make something big, work on something not too big, but do it on the side. Make your
Yeah.
primary focus the little things. And then once you've gotten a hang of everything and you're still producing content to keep people interested, maybe think about doing that big thing. But
Yeah,
don't
that
make it
sounds
your
like
only.
me for
work.
most of my career.
Mhm.
Don't bet all your money on one horse.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Also, I know
So-
about certain gaming
You better
companies.
put all your eggs in one basket. You better
So-
catch your chickens before they hatch.
Next question.
Yep. Next question from.
I like Dunkle the
Lol
Spy's
Scorpion.
question. Shit.
Hold
What
on.
collabs
We'll get to that.
end up being really disappointing to you guys?
Hey, I'm in
Fever Dream
charge.
Shut up.
Sorry.
No,
What's
it's
the
fine.
question?
It's fine. What collabs end up being really disappointing to you guys?
Oh, I know one. That'll be the
Most-
dancing
most
club
of
by
them.
You Got Phone Number, because, wow, that was really bad. Like, it had a really decent, cool, pretty cool idea of having some sort of music with dancing, but then most people
I
just
forgot
use
he made
TF2 tones. Like, most
There's
people
a
just use
certain-
either flagdoor flinging or just the T4 TF2 dances. Like, come on, guys, you can animate better than that.
I
There,
can.
there's a certain culinary collab that would even make Kitchen Nightmares blush in fucking repetitiveness. I'm just saying. It's
Eh,
just,
and
it's
it didn't really have those-
Roll!
Yeah,
it's fucking wrong.
I think part of it didn't help that it was restricted to only TF2 characters, which I can understand why, but I don't know. I feel like if it was more open to more franchise, I think it could have allowed more creativity. And like, I also think I managed that myself at one point with someone related to the hard boiled heavies, but then, oh look, TF2 rule. I can't use Sonic Mania characters.
Mhm.
Hmm.
It's okay.
So-
No one like.
Go ahead. Okay, so moving on to the next question, because we've talked enough about
Sure.
collabs. From Shane Toon. Will you be taking animation into any consideration in the future? College, job, etc.? For the moment, I would probably say no. I'm
Yeah,
going to
no,
try and
not
get it.
me either.
I'm going to get a job in something that I can very realistically make money on and not want to tear my head off every second.
I'm kind
And,
of sure what I want to take myself in the future. That's pretty much it.
Just
I'm not going
imagine
to.
showing a potential employer your Gmod videos, like a spy humping something. Yes, that is a really good animation.
Yeah.
I'm open to doing animation for a job, but the thing is, the barrier for entry is so small, and the industry is kind of in a weird place as far as like how animators are treated. So my idea is, I'm not going to stop animating, but I am going to focus on getting a job I know I can get paid for and make a living off of, and then do animation on the side. And if something comes of that, like I get a Patreon that takes off, neato. But until then, I'm not going to rely on it for my income.
Mm.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty much in the same boat there. I want to get like a good job that gives me a steady sort of stream of income while I'm also working on my animation and art and stuff on the side. And even while I can have like a Patreon opened up, I still want to think about like another like main job so I can still get that money going in, so I can keep on doing what I like to do. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
Yeah.
So, move on to the next one.
Mm.
From
Did you say anything,
Dunkel.
Sunky?
Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
Did
Did
you
you
have anything to
say-
say?
Well, I know. I think personally myself, I've just been unsure where I want to take myself because I don't know. I feel like I don't really know my actual skill set, what could be useful or not. So I just been doing these things for fun, and there came a point where I had to just trying to decide what I want to do, and I'm just kind of lost on what to do in the future.
Sometimes,
Alright.
sometimes it's just not your thing. You do it for a little while, and then that's it.
Well, I meant talking about the whole job and stuff because, like, just trying to do something in the future in general, not just like just anything.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Just remember, there's no shame in making a living.
Of
Never.
course.
I know. I guess I'm just not sure. Like, it's kind of some sort of weird identity crisis or something.
It's normal.
Just get
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
job with more pay, and you're okay.
Work on getting a degree because those
I
things
guess
are.
I know. I guess I really need to decide what I'm actually good at or not.
Mm.
That's my problem.
You'll get used to it.
Right.
So next question from Dunkel the Spy: has there ever been a time when you've almost said "F it" and just quit mid-project?
No, but there
Yes.
is a time where I did say fuck it and did quit mid project.
Well,
was a lo-
excuse
this was-
me.
Yeah, I'm cool. So this is a long time ago. I was making a video about some alien spy guy going into Fort and doing things there. It wasn't really all that special, not a very good video, but I did learn how to do walk cycles from that video.
Oh,
Doing
nice.
what kind of things?
What?
What was the spy doing?
Stealing a briefcase or something. I don't know. It was pretty
Alright.
boring.
How original.
Yeah. It was supposed to be a long video, but
Yeah.
I just stopped it. None of the
I've had-
files exist. I deleted everything. So that's fun.
Yeah.
See, I never delete anything permanently
was-
on purpose.
yeah, this
I
was
like to
about-
archive it.
At late 2015.
Mhm.
I guess for me, it was I guess I said at a point when I just said screw it and just stopped, and it was okay. It's kind of easy to say because of the person involved, but it was kind of something I was going to do for someone I used to know. But it was a huge pain for me back in 2016. Like, not only was I on my laptop, which was pretty poor at doing stuff in Gary's mod, but the whole, I don't know, I had trouble trying to visualize what was given from the script into video, and it was a pain to work on, and then I just stopped after being stressed out with it. And if you really want to see it, you can look onto my secondary channel, Putisman, which you can find the unfinished video as it was. But I mean, I would mention it here because I can't really mention the person involved because they're kind of dodgy, to say the least.
Mhm.
Just remember, if
Sure.
you're in a bad situation like that, first you say no, and then you get out of there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if you just look for the word anime on my second channel, you can find it easily.
Let's see.
Mhm.
Sunky would say no, but he'd rather just go off on a tangent.
I guess.
5 hours.
I think
I'm
I
just-
almost said
I
fuck it
guess-
in nostalgic Gmod video. I mean, I did get a bit moody one point.
Yeah, I think I also
you might
had it.
remember.
I've
Yeah.
also had that moment in the collab entry with Sanguine. And it was right before I had the headache as well, because I was like, oh my goodness, Vegas is lagging. Gary's one was like, oh, I'm having so much fun. And then I got the headache and I couldn't even continue it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I still
was-
really would like to continue that with you, honestly.
Yeah, but
As
then
much as
but currently we don't have any
Gary
time.
uh,
I've had quite a few videos that I almost quit, but usually my desire to just make something usually overrides it, and I figure it's better than nothing, and then I make
I
it
think
anyway.
I also almost quit the mid to spy entry as well because of technical difficulties.
mm. I don't think that there's ever really been a time with me personally that, in terms of animation, that I've ever really said fuck it and just completely quit on a project before. Well, actually, no. That's a lie. I didn't mean to lie to you. There was this one video that I was planning on doing between the kitchen gun guy and this
Oh,
one.
Peter Serafinovich.
Yeah. There was a battle that I wanted to do against. But just 3 shots from kitchen gun. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah, that was
I did put
it became
I put
one
a
of
kitchen
my...
gun reference in my new video.
Yeah, no, I made an entire animation of kitchen gun and toilet grenade whenever I was starting out Gmod, and the ending part of toilet grenade had this one sort of like teaser part in which basically the woman in the house would try and like fight Derek Bum for destroying her house. So I had that as my own sort of like little idea for the third part of like the trilogy, but I never got around to doing it or really finishing it for that matter because my computer at the time was absolute shite and it would almost burn out if I even attempted to render out a single part of that video. So I had to like keep away from that video for a long time to the point where it just got thrown into the bin, unfortunately.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're running low on time, so let's get to 2 more
Time
questions.
schmime.
From Blake the Gambler. If you were able to bring back one of the older collabs out there, Dance Golden Sword, Castle Calamity, that sort of thing, which collab would you wish to bring back?
I've
Uh,
never
no.
heard of any of them, but
None of them.
Castle
I've heard
Calamity
the
bring
is
Castle
one of
back,
my-
Calamity.
like make a reboot of?
I imagine that's what it is.
I'd probably do Catch That Scout, because I tried to make several entries, and by several I mean 2 entries for Catch That Scout. Both of them were bad. If Catch That Scout were made today, I would have had a better shot.
I would like. Go ahead.
Back in 2015, I sucked, and I still suck, but I suck slightly less, so it's fine.
I guess there's
You
a
get-
way around it.
The higher your standards get, the less you suck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
oh, yeah.
there's one collab I would like to bring about. It'll be the Talentus collab from a few years ago, because if you don't know, there was this collab that was basically like you trying to create music videos based on existing songs, and it was pretty fun for me to enter. But unfortunately, the collab got hit by content ID claims, so you can't even watch it anymore.
Oh man.
Yeah, so if I could revive a collab, I would probably bring that back and try to make it so we couldn't get content ID'd so easily.
I'd like to make a
Because it's
sequel.
fun.
I'd like to make a sequel to a collab that had an interesting idea but had poor execution, and make it good. Like, make it shorter, make the barrier for entry way high, and just get like the best of the best animators to try it out.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah.
Because then it might bring attention to the original, and maybe the people that were involved in that could improve and look and go, hey, I could do this if I try a little harder. So
Yeah. I would want to bring back collab. No, I'm kidding.
God,
no.
Say you're going
I
to
was
bring
thinking
back
of making
Castle
a
Calamity
collab next year.
sequels.
that's the last thing I want to bring back.
maybe one day, but not in the near future. Did you hear that,
Clearly
everybody?
Over there.
Not in the near future.
I was thinking of making a collab later this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
What was
I'm
that?
still thinking about it.
Huh,
And
can't wait
we
to hear more about that.
last question for the podcast from a user who wishes to remain anonymous. What's something related? What's something related to Gmod that you're currently working to improve? This is a good one to end on. I would like to learn how to do some more blending of editing in post with how I animate in Gmod, like the effect I was talking about earlier with how I made the paper disappear in my Smash Bros. Ultimatum video. I'd like to learn how to do more stuff like that, because I feel like touching things up in post like that and blending it together with animation and post effects could really up the quality quite a bit. Like, I could add fancy effects, like when somebody gets hit, I could put Batman bam pow effects into things, and that'll really boost the quality.
What I really want to improve on is not just my use of effects in the actual game itself whenever I'm recording the frames, but the same sort of thing that you're kind of talking about, how you can blend the post processing with the stuff that you do in the game. Because like I've looked at all the different like effects that you can have. There's like this entire entities pack of like the unusual effects from TF2. There's an entire pack of entities that are just like all these different energy effects put together, and I can like make like magic using characters in a certain animation or whatever. And I know that there's some ways that I can blend that together with some of the like light rays and stuff like that in Vegas. So that's really what I kind of want to work to as well. So I get what you're coming from there.
Yeah.
For me, it's
Come on.
timekeeping.
My God, no one lets me talk. Go ahead, Butane.
Hair can shut up. He can shut up more.
Yeah.
You can
I'd
shut
rather
up
shut
now.
So what were
I
you
just
saying?
wanted to say that, but yeah, go on here.
No,
No,
you
you
go.
go.
You go. You
No,
go.
please. Be
I'm
my
in
guest.
charge. You go. You go.
Timekeeping
Bouquet.
is all I wanted to say. But, I mean, I guess you learn every day. Really, you're improving on Gmod as you go. That's it.
So just kind of get better in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
that
what?
makes sense.
If you suck, just don't. Just don't. That's all you gotta do.
Stop it.
It's the only way to win the week.
Well, I
Stop
mean,
it.
hey, you
Just
gotta
stop
suck
it.
at something first to
Just
get
don't
good
do
at it.
Stop it. Get some help. How about you, Hair? Since you so very much want to talk about what you want to do, what do you?
Oh no. By all means, what I want to talk about is
Like
nowhere
what?
near as important as these other guys.
No,
I'm
what do
taking
you?
a back seat here.
No,
Okay,
what could
In
you
all
do to improve in Gmod?
And
Right, and
before he
also-
just says,
Right, okay. Okay. Thank you.
My name is Monsieur Herr, and I'd like
Okay,
to say that I
I'm
can.
only going to say this once because I only want to say it once. Let Hair talk. Now, go
Okay.
ahead.
No, if you guys want to talk over me, you go right ahead and just talk over me.
We're short on time. Talk.
Fine. I want to learn to be more active with my animation. I want action instead of people just standing around there.
That's
Thank
fair
you, Ken.
enough.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
makes
Right.
sense.
Did you already say
Because
something,
that-
Sanguine?
Most of what
Yeah.
Fever Dream
Okay.
4 is mostly people talk. And it's fun. Anyway, you go on.
How about you, Sunky? What would you like to do?
Okay, so obviously I
Oh
mentioned
god, you
before I
should
wanted
never
to.
let him go last.
Okay, like I
Just
said,
go
this,
on.
okay, so I said I wanted to work on stuff related to video effects, but I think when it comes to Gmod, I want to work on more like the poses and stuff because I like to do just basic standing a lot, and I think for the stuff I want to make in the future, I want to work on the poses to be more dynamic and stuff. So I guess it's kind of like how when him wants to do more of his videos, action stuff, and and I think also I think my mom want to think about something related to porting the models to Gmod because there's quite a few models I'm kind of jealous I don't have in Gmod.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Well, a little tip for you, Sunky, that I've started doing. If you're gonna start a character off standing, like anywhere, do more than just move his arms down. Like, don't leave anything like it is after you use like the default T-pose standing sort of thing.
Right.
Move everything just a little bit. That way,
Mm.
no standing animation you have is the same as the other ones.
Okay.
That'll help a little bit. Like, just move everything a little bit when you're having somebody stand up to start. That way, you can be sure that it's not just going to be stale.
Like shifting his weight to the side, kind of standing more on one leg instead of both, like balanced and everything, that sort of thing.
Yeah. like
Okay,
that.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I guess you can say I'm kind of jealous of some of the stuff people do, and like I see someone cool, and I'm like, oh, I really want to do this, and then I try to do it myself, and I have no idea how to do it.
That could be a good motivation because then you want to get better.
Very
Yeah,
good.
better
I
than-
always have,
Better
I
than
always have-
somebody else, but better.
I always have trouble trying to find
if you want to
stuff that I have
improve,
to do the
just-
thing I want to do.
Just
It's
be good.
natural.
Just don't be bad.
Just don't get better
Oh,
by
trust
killing
me.
them.
Oh, trust me, I already see people saying don't be bad in other servers on Discord. I mean, I see a Blue Blur constantly say talk about his genius and how one thing works and the other thing doesn't.
The moral of this podcast is to do better than everybody else. Always try to be better than everybody else.
Yeah, basically be Goku.
Yeah. So, with that, I think this podcast has officially run its course. We've been
Cool.
talking for quite a long time, and I'm sure most people out there want us to stop talking.
I need
Yeah,
a piss.
according to our
Yeah,
plan
right,
sheet,
piss off. Get out.
yeah, apparently according to this plan sheet, we're supposed to shut our faces.
Yeah. So, that is the last item on the itinerary.
Yeah,
So,
okay, shut up. Everyone go home. Podcast over.
I'm in charge. I'm in charge here. Everybody go.
Just say when I say we're done, shit, we have to go on for another 5 hours, but when you say
No.
we're done, then we're done.
Listen,
Okay, so go on,
listen.
MP. Say you're done. Say we're done, and I'll just piss off.
Okay, we're done. Hair,